Safety is our #1 priority, and all of our pilots are highly trained professionals, so all you wannabe bush pilots out there, do not try this at home.
Northern Alaska. It's home to the most isolated citizens in America. The only way in, and the only way out, is by bush plane. Where the roads end, the Tweedo's world begins. On this episode,
fasten in tight.
pilot John Ponce's turbulent flight goes from bad to worse.
I think we're going to get our ass kicked right now.
When Ariel, Ben Peterson, and John Ponce are left in charge of the Unaclete terminal, things go downhill fast. And pilot Sarah Freyer's flight to rescue a snow machiner lost in a snowstorm turns into a battle for her own survival. Day in and day out, the brave pilots of Era Alaska battle extreme weather in small planes, providing the only lifeline to America's last frontier.
Era 292, 2 hours fuel. I got 3 souls on board.
It's just after 7 a.m., and the Alaskan sun won't rise for 2 more hours. Yet Era Alaska COO Jim Tweedo must head into work to make sure everything is in order.
It's still dark coming to work. Can't wait for summer. It's too cold. Fern and I are going out of town for a few days now, so while we're gone, John and Ben are going to cover the station. We haven't left the place into somebody else's hands for years now, so we're due a little break. And I'll be checking in on the phone probably every day, so we won't let things get too out of hand.
My parents miraculously are taking a little honeymoon vacation-like thing. It is extremely rare for my mom and my dad to both leave the station at the same time.
Jim is leaving the Unaclete hub in the trusted hands of veteran pilots John Ponce and Ben Peterson, as well as his daughter Ariel.
They're leaving us, and they're leaving the dogs, which is unheard of because my mom is more obsessed with the dogs than she is of me and my sisters.
Furno put some booties on her pups, Olive and Lulu, to protect their feet from the snow.
Oh gosh, these little dogs are just, they took the place of our kids when our kids aren't here, and our kids love them just as much as we do. They're really important to me with these two.
Yeah, those dogs are important to her.
They're just lap dogs in every sense of the word, you know? They don't do anything but get pet and eat.
Let's go!
If something happens to those dogs, you guys better just take off and don't come back, right?
Oh, good girl.
While Jim and Furno prepare to leave for vacation, 150 miles away at the confluence of the Yukon and Andrevsky rivers, the Yupik Eskimo community of St. Mary's prepares to host their winter carnival. St. Mary's is also home to one of Era Alaska's few female pilots.
My name is Sarah Freyer, and I'm a pilot out of St. Mary's. I moved to Alaska 10 years ago. I love living in Alaska. It's adventurous. We go ice climbing a lot. There's skiing. There's lots of hiking in the summer, fishing, camping, hunting. It's really rewarding to get your own food. It's very Alaskan. That's 2! These are so yummy.
Sarah Freyer's a badass.
One of my friends said, you need to go take 1 flight lesson, see if you like it. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So I went and did 1 flying lesson, and I was sold. I knew I wanted this to be my profession.
Today, Sarah is landing in the small community of Russian Mission to get a family that is headed to the winter carnival.
Hi, you guys going to St. Mary's? All right. When I landed in Russian, I picked up a family that were taking all their kids to the St. Mary's Winter Carnival. Who wants to sit back here?
I'm going to St. Mary's for this carnival. They have dog races, a lot of activities, Eskimo dancing.
Are you good? Thumbs up? Thumbs up? All right. All right, welcome aboard, you guys. My name's Sarah. I'm always careful, but when I have kids on board, I'm extra careful. Departing runway 17, approaching mission. I almost took out the thing of crows. Oh my gosh. A bunch of birds. They can go through your windshield or into your engine and your intake. And you literally do have to move to avoid them. They could take down your plane. 5 of them went right out from under the plane.
Sarah quickly tries to calm her nerves so that she can safely get her passengers to St. Mary's. Back in Unicleat, Ariel, Pons, and Ben are settling into their new management positions.
Hola, Era.
These guys know what's expected of them, and they won't let me down. Remember, no partying, dog, start running. I love this plane. Love it. The only one I basically fly now.
Okay. There you go. Hardest part of leaving is leaving Olive and Lulu. But I'll be okay.
You never cry for me when I leave. Bye! Me, Pons, and Ben are gonna try to run the company. Yikes.
All those guys standing out there, bunch of dorks.
Almost as soon as Jim and Inferno take off, the weather takes a sudden turn for the worse. Pons struggles to get his first flight into the air.
Jim Inferno left. Of course, the wind's kicked up, blowing 40, 45 or something like that. I had to charter out to Nulato. And the only way to get there is you got to go right through the hills.
Flying over the Nulato Hills is frequently a bumpy flight. Pons' passengers are eager to visit family members in Nulato, so he does his best to prepare them for the ride.
Do you need 6 sacks, the bags? You don't get airsick?
What you doing here, John?
What's that?
What you doing here?
I missed you, Chow.
Oh, yeah, right.
I fly Chow quite frequently. She's fun. She's got a good personality.
You're supposed to give me a free ride.
Am I?
Yes, remember?
What? I never said that. You know, I get to know my passengers, and we get to have conversations on the fly.
That was you, John.
No way.
That was you.
You know, that's life in Alaska. Y'all have your seatbelts on, right? Okay. It's gonna be turbulent for a little while, but then it calms down once we get closer to the Yukon. I've been in turbulence so bad where I've been thrown up into the ceiling and hit my head on the ceiling, so, you know, I knew it was coming.
Air behaves much like water, with each air current having distinct temperature and speed characteristics at different altitudes. When two currents meet, the airflow becomes disrupted and unstable. As a plane flies through these volatile regions, the erratic airflow causes it to shake, what most people know as turbulence. Mountains obstruct air currents, cause rapid changes in their speed and direction, resulting in a region of heavy turbulence.
There's a lot of travel, especially between these two families, between Unicleat and Nulato. They have a lot of connections. When you want to go see your family, 90 miles away, up here, jump in an airplane. It's just the most efficient way to get there.
It quickly becomes apparent that the normally bumpy ride to Nulato is going to be far worse than expected.
It's going to be pretty turbulent. When you got 40 miles an hour coming over the mountain like that, that's going to create some hellacious turbulence. Well, you can see the snow on the top of those peaks over there blowing. You're going to get up and down drafts, and it's going to be violent. Wow. Fastened in tight. I think we're going to get our ass kicked right now.
Deep in the Nulato Hills, 60 miles outside Unicleat, pilot John Pons is battling severe turbulence. He tries to bring his passengers to visit their family in the village of Nulato.
Fastened in tight. We're going to get our ass kicked right now. Back at Chow, and she just had this frown on her face, and I knew she was pissed. That's always fun.
The violent turbulence is starting to upset Pons' customers.
Your stomach a little queasy.
Are you?
A little bit. That up and down.
Yep. I'm starting to feel...
breakfast real bad. I know what I'm talking about. Don't. I wouldn't do it.
It's unpleasant when somebody gets sick in an airplane. If I smell it, then I'm getting sick.
While Andrea is struggling to keep down her breakfast, in the backseat, Chow is becoming a bit queasy herself.
Chow got sick behind me. It was so bad I couldn't handle it, and I was dry heaving the whole way. It's nasty.
Toronto traffic, Area 84 uniforms.
Luckily, we made it to the ground.
I'd never fly with John again.
Oh, come on. What the hell, Chow?
You're lucky I didn't have a heart attack.
Great.
That's the way of life here. You go from A to B in an airplane, and some days it's bad, some days it's good.
Oh, my leg.
You just like to give me a hard time. Say it, Chow. Okay.
As Ponce heads back to Unifleet, 150 miles south, Sarah Freyer is trying to get a family safely to St. Mary's for the Winter Carnival.
We have this moving radar on here, and I could see weather coming in. Yeah, there's the beginning of the storm, the green.
The winds are already blowing 40 miles per hour across the runway, the equivalent of a gale tornado. In a crosswind, the wind blows perpendicular to the runway. If the landing is not executed correctly, the aircraft may experience wing strike, where the wing hits the ground and flips the plane. Sarah must keep the nose of the aircraft facing into the wind until the last possible moment, then pivot and land on the plane's upwind tire first. Failure to do so could result in a wing strike, where the wing hits the ground and flips the plane.
That was some gnarly winds. I mean, geez. Hey, you guys, welcome to St. Mary's. We made it back to St. Mary's safe and sound, and now they can go to the Winter Carnival.
The next morning in Unifleet, with Jim and Furno on vacation, it's day 2 for Air Alaska's new management team.
There's a few more days till my parents get back, and Ben and Ponce have to keep an airline, moving, and I have faith in them.
Olive, come here. Hey, Olive. God dang it.
What?
I was just yelling at Olive. She's running out to the plane. Come here, Olive. The thing I need to be worried about the most was the dogs. How did she get all the way out here? Go sit with Lulu. I don't want to see Furno when the dogs go missing. If something happens, I'll probably disappear. We're trying to get John's load ready for the next flight. We're going to pick 600 pounds of this because he's got one passenger going. That's all the room we got for weight. Yeah, weight-wise.
Cargo must be carefully weighed before being loaded onto a plane so that the plane's center of gravity, or CG, is within the allowable range. If the maximum weight of passengers and cargo is exceeded, the aircraft's CG may shift, making controlled level flight impossible and a crash unavoidable.
So 600?
Yeah, we need about
What's the total? 16?
This is
So we
1,600.
should just take up to
You
here.
need to leave 1,000 pounds of this stuff.
Both of me and Ben aren't the fastest people in the world.
This is about, what, 50?
Yeah. We were out trying to, weigh things. I think that would be 300. Let's take a couple more. There's a lot of stuff to think through. Maybe we shouldn't have put that fragile at the bottom.
Jeez. I've never worked here in a position where I wasn't flying a plane. So to now all of a sudden jump into Furno's position might be a lot harder than I thought it would be.
There'd be 1, 2, 3, 4.
For what?
Unifleet check.
Four people? I didn't know there was 4 people.
I thought there was just one.
Ben and Ariel have made their first big mistake by not confirming the number of passengers on Ponce's next flight. Not only could they have overloaded the plane, they now have to go back and recalculate the cargo.
And then we found out that we had 4 passengers out of nowhere, so we had to unload everything.
Take this.
Oh,
Will that open up?
yeah. When my mom and dad aren't bossing us around, it's pretty it's a cluster. Beep.
Over in St. Mary's, pilot Sarah Freyer is embarking on a multi-stop flight to collect passengers for the day's only flight to Anchorage.
Good morning, I'm gonna go to Potlick, Emonic, Alakanuk, and switch off with passengers coming down from the north.
First, she'll head to Kotlik, then moving on to Amonic, and then Alakanuk, before finally returning back to the St. Mary's base. She'll have to be fast in order to make it back in time for the Anchorage flight. Missing the daily Anchorage flight would leave her passengers stranded in the tiny village of St. Mary's, which lacks hotels or even a restaurant.
We're going to try to make it back, be here before the Anchorage flight gets in. So we'll try to make it a quick run. Ready to go.
At her first stop in Kotlik, the first passengers Sarah will collect will be passengers from her ex-boyfriend, John Ponce.
Ponce is up. Hey, John, you out there? Hey, Ponce, you out there? Over Kotlik, era. Base 7 Charlie Tango. Do you copy?
Sarah is struggling to make contact with her base. The Arctic climate wreaks havoc on electronics, and if she can't get her VHF air-to-ground radio working, she'll be unable to get weather or runway updates from local airports. Sarah could lose her lifeline to the ground.
We were 37 miles out. The VHF should work. Over Kotlik, era. Base 7 Charlie Tango. Do you copy? This is not good.
En route from St. Mary's to Kotlik, Sarah Freyer is having communication difficulties.
Over Kotlik, era. Over Kotlik, era. My VHF radio isn't working.
Without her VHF radio, Sarah is cut off from communicating with the ground.
I feel hold on. There he is. I got you in sight, Fred. Hey, you can call base. I'm trying to call him. My VHF radio isn't working.
All right. Sarah has found a temporary fix. If she's within range of another plane, she can use her air-to-air pilot's radio to relay messages back to base.
This takes a lot more time to get the communication going.
I gave it the right heads up that your VHF is still JUNK.
JUNK. VHF is junk.
Sarah's workaround allows her to continue with her flight plan. However, with spotty communication, the likelihood of missing the Anchorage flight increases by the minute. At her first stop in Kotlik, Sarah must wait for her ex-boyfriend, John Ponce, to arrive with her first group of passengers.
Normally we'll meet within 30 minutes of each other. And this time I waited an hour on the ground for him. And finally he showed up. Oh, finally.
Although Sarah and Ponce are both pilots for Air Alaska, due to scheduling conflicts, they haven't seen each other since their breakup 4 months ago.
Sarah and I dated for about a year. Right at this moment, at this point in time, you know, neither of us are ready to settle down. We're just still having too much fun.
Sorry, took so long.
That's okay. John and I aren't dating anymore, but we're still really good friends. I needed to get passengers from him that were coming down south. And I also had his bunny boots and his French press. Look what I found.
My feet aren't gonna freeze now. How's it going?
Good.
Thank you. We decided that we'll just be single for now, still be good friends, and, you know, if something works out later on in life, then it'll work out. You know, I still think the world of her.
We care a lot about each other. We just aren't dating anymore. Bye! When I got to Kotlik to meet John, he had 2 extra passengers I didn't know about.
Ponce's late arrival has put Sarah an hour behind schedule. She still has 2 more stops to make before heading back to St. Mary's.
They're holding that Anchorage flight for us.
The pressure is on. Not only do the passengers need to make it to St. Mary's in time for the flight to Anchorage, but pilot upgrades are a few short months away. Sarah needs to prove herself in order to get moved up to the larger 208 Caravan.
I'm really nervous about the upgrade. I put in for it, and I'm really hoping I get it, but there's a lot of competition.
If you guys can hear me on 3050, I ended up picking up 2 extras that came down from Uniclete, so I'm not going to have room to get the Lucknock and the Amonic passenger.
With 2 unscheduled passengers aboard, Sarah has run out of seats.
No, she picked up 2 extras from up north. Pass on to Sarah, visit Pete family in Amonic. That way we can get the Anchorage passengers. Alrighty.
As the morning goes on, everything changes. Nothing new here at St. Mary's.
Put the metal to it. Alright, Sarah?
Yep, got it all, thank you.
Sarah rushes to make it back to St. Mary's in time for the Anchorage flight. Back in Uniclete, things are just as hectic. While Ariel deals with scheduling inside the terminal, Ben is left to fend for himself on the tarmac.
It's just me here right now. I gotta turn the 1900, turn the 207, turn the Navajo, and the Caravan, and they're all coming in right now at the same time. A lot of passengers off this flight, and a lot of passengers getting loaded off from all the other flights onto this one. So I gotta get the bags out, the truck out, everything has to come together. Oh, jeez. Why are they out here? Hey, get in the truck. Come on. Get in. Today got really busy. Hey, this is Ben calling from Arrow. We're gonna have a 1900 taxi over and get some fuel from you guys. You're good. Just taxi over there. Of course, we had all that wind coming in.
Boy, it's breezy, huh?
The rush of the moment, I'm stepping out of the truck. Door slips out of my hand and the wind catches it. Bends it, and I get out, and now the door won't even close. Bad spot to park it. Great. And there's a plane taxiing in. I just grabbed the door and forced it closed, and after that, never opened again. What was important was those aircraft that were on the ground. So, yeah, I got the door closed, and I figured I'd just worry about it later. Once work is done, I'll check it out. I wouldn't open it. Don't open it, you'll bend the metal.
I went to get into the truck, and Ben was like, no, don't get in that way. Did you do that?
It was an accident.
He broke the door. You know, when Jim was walking out the door, he said, you know, you guys, this is going to be a breeze for you. It's going to be a slow week. First day, wind's blowing 45 knots, full flights, people going like this and that, and bags are going here and there. So it wasn't exactly a piece of cake. The dogs are still in the truck, so...
Yeah, that's all that matters, is the dogs are alive.
With the bosses away and the morning rush behind them, Ariel and Ponce have a little fun.
It's such a gorgeous day out today, so I'm just going to go get Ponce and we're going to get out of here. Me and Ponce and our friend JR took our snow machine up the river.
We decided to pack it up and head over to Suicide and do some sledding.
Yeah.
Suicide is just a hill, and it's a pretty dangerous little hill, hence the name.
Yeah.
Ponce brought his little snow skate, which is like a snowboard, but it doesn't have straps.
There's no turning. It's not like a skateboard or snowboard, so you just have to go straight down.
Ponce, this is scary. Snow's pretty hard.
You're gonna get hurt, dude.
Yeah. Don't kill yourself.
Suicide Hill is real steep.
You alright?
Nice crater.
You alright?
Face plant. After that slam, I caught my breath again, kind of got the stars out of my eyes. That was fun. We're gonna do it again. Yeah.
After I saw him eat it on that snow skate, I was like, I think I'll pass. I'll just slide down on my butt.
While the gang blows off some steam on the ground, pressure's on for Sarah up in the air. Running more than an hour behind schedule, she still has one more stop before she can race back to St. Mary's to meet the Anchorage flight.
Actually holding the flight. It's landing right now.
Flying in the bush, we try really hard to be on time, but it's not like flying low 48 where like they print off a schedule and then they're actually landing 2 minutes to the T on that schedule. We have a lot of more challenges like and delays. Okay, we're really late. Is there any way you could hold it? No? Okay, then yeah.
Since there is no terminal at these remote airports, or even a toilet aboard a 207, bathroom breaks are few and far between.
So even though we're in a rush, someone's got to pee, someone's got to pee.
There's no way we're gonna make it back in time.
My station manager really wanted me to hurry up. You know, I can go as fast as I can on the ground loading and unloading, but it's not going to make any difference in the air if I, you know, in rushing things, you just make mistakes.
Yeah, we're in a big rush.
After 3 stops and numerous delays, Bush pilot Sarah Freyer is racing against the clock to get her passengers back to St. Mary's in time to catch the daily flight to Anchorage. With no direct radio contact with base, she's not even sure if the Dash 8 is still waiting on the runway.
I think the flight's supposed to leave at 12:30, and it's now 1. And we won't be back for 40 minutes.
All the passengers I had were getting on that plane. And that's a lot of people you're holding up, actually. It's not just the plane, you're holding up another 20 people.
You know, I got the station manager telling me to go fast now, you know, we're holding a plane for you. It's a big deal. I'm going to try to get a hold of base and actually see if they actually held it this late. Hey, is anybody on?
Sarah checks her pilot radio for an update and is surprised by a report from the pilot of the Anchorage flight.
St. Mary's, 662. About 15 minutes, negative fuel.
Oh, the air flight's late.
Payload of 825.
That's the air flight. That's awesome. We're going to make it. They're late. Woo!
Thanks to an approaching storm, the Dash 8's departure out of Anchorage was delayed.
It all works out in the end. So you keep trying.
It is only now touching down in St. Mary's. Sarah isn't late after all.
Up Charlie Tango's taxiing.
And now she'll have time to get her VHF radio fixed before heading out on her next flight.
We made it back to St. Mary's, and our passenger is going to make the Anchorage flight. 3 stops, an hour delay, no VHF, so we made it. They all got out of the plane with smiles, and they all landed here safely, so that's the job.
After a long, hard day at work in Unifleet, without the Tweedo's guidance, Ben and the dogs are ready to head home.
Every day, at the same time, every single day, Olive barks at me. It's like she's got an internal clock. She's sitting here telling me, take me home.
Hey, Jim.
Well,
What a day, huh?
yeah,
After today, it'll be a breeze, huh?
yeah, I hope.
It's always a learning curve, you know, when something new comes at you. We were thrown into the fire, and, you know, by the second day, we were throwing gas onto the fire, so. And the dogs?
They're still alive, yes.
Most important part.
Yeah, they are ready to go home. They've been nipping at me.
What's for dinner tonight?
I don't know. Come on, pups.
Go, dog. Come on.
The late winter storm has finally hit St. Mary's, grounding most flights in and out. Although winds are approaching no-fly levels, some flights load up to meet passengers' needs. Right now, pilot Eric Greener preps for departure in less than ideal conditions.
You gonna go to Amonic?
I am.
And then Lefkinock?
Uh-huh.
Did you see the winds picked up to 41 in Amonic?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least go take a look at it.
And then call base and say what it's really like.
Well, have fun. Good luck.
Greener decided to go give Amonic a look when it was gusting into like 40. It's an icy runway. But, I mean, that's his personal limits.
In extreme weather, it is up to each pilot to make a decision on whether or not to fly. Sarah must make that difficult decision when she gets word that a search and rescue mission is underway.
There's 2 possibilities. They went this way to Kotlik, or they came up the river to St. Mary's. You guys can kind of fly the river down.
Okay.
It's a black snow machine, 2 occupants. Right now, there's a search and rescue for a machine. 1 missing snow machine, 2 passengers on that snow machine been missing since about 8 o'clock last night. So it's just a matter of finding him if he's out in the open, depending on conditions. Fatalities can become pretty common. They're wearing black coats, black snow pants, no extra gear. We don't know how much the chances are it broke down. I was told the snow machine's pretty rickety.
Okay. How long have they been out there?
They left at 6 o'clock p.m. yesterday. About a 2-hour trip, I guess. No sign of them.
With the prospect of a dangerous flight on the horizon, Sarah checks in to see how Eric Greener is faring in the conditions.
What did Greener say? He wasn't able to land in Mountain Village.
Yeah, I tried to go to Mountain Village, but I'd be getting the crap kicked out of me. Judging from the windsock and looking down at the trees and other indicators of the wind direction and how hard it was blowing, I decided that I wasn't even going to try that one. Number 1 priority is safety. You know, these airplanes have limitations, and we found it today.
We were going to watch the wind a little bit. Greener just tried to get into Mountain, and he couldn't land.
Okay.
So
You can't take off, though.
I wouldn't fly this if it was in a search and rescue, but someone's out there.
In St. Mary's, the late winter storm is in full swing. High winds and sub-zero temperatures have grounded all but emergency flights. Pilot Sarah Freyer evaluates the weather conditions to decide whether or not to embark on a perilous search and rescue mission to find 2 snow machiners stranded overnight out in the Arctic wilderness.
It's been so windy, we haven't flown anywhere today. And the only thing that would actually get me probably out there is, someone missing. Think about being out there stuck in a snow machine.
Without the proper gear, exposure to extreme elements can cause hypothermia within hours.
They've already sent out all these snow machines of search and rescue, and no one's located them. So now they really need a bird in the sky.
For someone lost in the Alaskan backcountry, the bush pilot can be the only hope of survival. Time is of the essence as Sarah weighs the risks of venturing out in the unrelenting storm.
Hopefully we can find him. God, that has a lot of wind.
In Unicely, the skies are still clear as Jim and Ferno arrive home from their brief vacation.
Jim and Ferno are on that airplane. Ferno is going to be happy, rest assured, her dogs are okay. Jim, the building is good. Nothing's burned down.
Inside the terminal, Ben is less than enthusiastic about the return of Jim and Ferno.
Right now, I'm not really looking forward to them getting back and seeing that truck.
You're back!
Hey!
Hi! Welcome back. Look, you were my babies. I don't know. Hey! Welcome back!
How'd it go?
Good vacation?
Yeah, not too bad.
Home.
Surprise! Let me see you, Olive. I could kiss you all day. Olive, do you think... Hi, Louise. Phew, I can't believe how stink they are. Olive lost a whole pound or 2, but she's doing good. Lulu is filthy. They both smell like pee. Hey, what's up with the door? I can't open that door. I think those guys screwed it up. Hans, what the hell happened to the door? I can't open it. Ask Ben. Ask Ben. I'm gonna ask Ben about the door.
Ferno drives off to find Ben. Back in St. Mary's, Sarah has made the gutsy call to head out on the search and rescue mission, despite the dangerous weather.
This is a Pete and Fred, and they're my spotters. So they're going to be the ones looking out of the plane and telling me where the trail is.
With the storm getting worse, every second counts in the search for the 2 missing snow machiners.
It's going to be bumpy as heck.
The wind limit for takeoff is usually 40 miles per hour. Current 52-mile-per-hour winds make even taxiing a dangerous endeavor. Yet Sarah decides that the lives of 2 lost villagers are worth the risk.
My nose down because we're really light right now.
On an average takeoff, Sarah would be airborne at 81 miles per hour. However, the current storm's strong wind enabled her to lift off at only 58 miles per hour. The wind generates more lift, but also creates severe downdrafts that roll off the nearby hills, impeding her climb.
You got to know the plane, when to add extra power, make sure you keep your wings as level as you can, and until you can fight through it.
A little breezy over there.
Oh, man.
With her plane in the air and her radio repaired, Sarah coordinates her position with multiple rescue crews.
Base 89 uniforms out of there.
Trooper Kevin notified. Everyone wanted to talk to me as soon as I got in there.
129.0. Earl, is that you?
This is Earl with the Caravan 715.
They've instructed me to follow the Yukon.
I'll head over towards the Euphonic.
Yep, that sounds like a plan. I'll stay on the north side of the Yukon. I'll take the split towards Colic.
Sarah coordinates a flight path that follows the trail the snow machiners may have taken. After hypothermia sets in, the human body is capable of surviving anywhere between 1 hour and 3 days. Having already been exposed for 16 hours, the likelihood of finding the snow machiners alive is rapidly diminishing.
Got a lot going on right now.
Minutes out for you. 3 Celsius. 600 over.
Tally ho, they found him. Cotlex flew towards the coast.
They just found him.
Go ahead and stand down. Thank you for your help.
Yeah, Trooper Kevin, copy that. I heard that. Returning to land in St. Mary's.
Thank you, sir.
Roger. They found him.
The snow machiners have been found alive. Now Sarah's concern immediately shifts to getting back on the ground safely.
It goes up to 45 now in St. Mary's. I gotta find a way to get this freaking plane down. This is a ton of wind.
Outside St. Mary's, Sarah is relieved that 2 stranded snow machiners have been rescued. However, in dangerous winds, she now has to worry about her own safety and the safety of her passengers.
I gotta find a way to get this frickin' plane down.
The winds are now tearing through St. Mary's at 52 miles per hour, making any attempt at landing perilous.
This is a ton of wind. Downdraft's here bad, too.
Sarah risks her plane being flipped, shearing off her landing gear if she doesn't land straight.
Oh, man. St. Mary's traffic area 898 from Internal left down for 06.
Planes getting caught in winter weather is a scary situation. Killed a lot of people in Alaska. Most important thing about landing in high winds, watch your airspeed, really glide it and get that nose down.
Come on, baby.
Stick it down one tire. Flaps up as soon as possible. Remove the lift from your plane.
Whew. That was windy. I'm not going back up today. That was my last flight for the day.
Mission completed.
Inside the terminal, Sarah discovers the missing snow machiners suffered only minor frostbite. Once again, the heroic efforts of the Alaskan community saved one of their own.
All right, well, thank you.
Yep, anytime.
Appreciate it. Glad everybody got to enjoy the bumpy ride. All the fun at Bush, Alaska.
Yeah.
If you can't land straight, land sideways.
Exactly.
Back in Unifleet, Jim and Furno investigate the damage that occurred while they were away.
Damn truck door, what happened to it?
I didn't notice it right off the bat, but after a little bit, I saw everybody going into the truck through the passenger side door, so that's when I asked, what the heck? So, what happened to the truck, Ben?
Door slipped out of my glove. Wing caught it and threw it all the way open. And that doesn't work.
So, gonna buy me a new truck?
First thing he starts saying is, how are you going to pay for this? And, he's telling me to buy the whole truck from him, and I can't ever really tell if he's being serious or joking with me.
Normally when employees break, we make them buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a $13,000 truck, so...
The whole truck?
Yeah, that was 10 years ago. So the replacement cost is, you got 25 grand, you might have to sell your land in McGrath. God, lighten up, buddy, come on. Just a door. If that's the worst that happens while we're gone, I guess that's not that bad. Nothing a few parts can't fix.
What are we going to do about that damn door with the truck?
I can't believe nobody did anything while we were gone.
Yeah,
I don't know,
we need to get that fixed because I'm tired of crawling in through the other side already. They kept the dogs alive while we were gone, so we'll reconsider.
The main thing was the dogs were happy, so the door was just a minor problem that's fixable.
Now that the winds in St. Mary's have settled down and the day is coming to a close, Sarah finally has a chance to enjoy the Winter Carnival.
This weekend is the St. Mary's Winter Carnival. It's a community wintertime break, kind of for everyone to get together and just celebrate winter. It's just a fun Yukon party.
You want to race tomorrow? Oh, you better find yourself a team, man. Yeah, find yourself a team.
Oh my gosh, I would love to race. They're just such nice people, and they're more than happy to welcome you into the community.
Winter Carnival is a time for the residents to celebrate their traditional culture during the harsh, long winter. The dancers use fans made of woven grasses and caribou ruff and drums made of walrus stomach. The carnival gives St. Mary's pilots a chance to get to know the community they serve.
This week was a challenge, but we got the job done. I feel really, really fortunate to be able to be around all this culture. I think the weather's going to start getting a little bit better here. Summer's coming around. We're just going to ride out the rest of this winter.
As the daylight wanes, there's one last thing for Jim and Furno to do before they head home for the day.
Flight coordinator on duty is Ponce and Ben Peterson. You get your name back up there.
Why don't you put it up there if you're taller?
Even though there was a minor incident in Jim and Furno's absence, things are back to normal in Unifleet.
Just something he said he had to do.